Hello everyone, this is the Commander, and today I'm going to review the book of Boba Fett, episode 6. This was a very good episode, so I'm just going to get right into it here. So we start with Cobb Vanth on Tatooine and its little village, and the Pikes are coming now. You know how they're invading Tatooine, each episode a little more, but we still haven't seen too much of like the full-scale war. And I don't know how long the series is, so we'll see how much we get to see and if there will be a second season of the show. So he talks with the Pikes and tells them to go away, but they do not agree. So then Vance shoots all but one of them, and he tells the last one to send a message to the leaders to say, "Don't pass, stay off our turf," basically. So then we go to another scene where we see Din Djarin's N1 starfighter flying onto a lush jungle planet. I don't know too much about this planet, what's its name, I don't know. But we get to see R2 again, so that's a very fun cameo already. Let's do cameo count. That's Cobb Vanth count as one. I don't think so, but I'm going to count R2 as one right now. So then R2 directs him to a temple that the droids are building, these android robots, whatever. And some people think this is the school, including me. I thought at first this was the school where Kylo Ren was trained and he was burning down the temple. I don't know if that's true. The background, the scenery might be a little different. So, but maybe Luke built multiple of these schools. So then we see Luke, so that's the second cameo. He's meditating with Grogu, that's three. I would count as three because Grogu's not really connected with Boba Fett too much. So it's meditating with Grogu. The Luke CGI, I thought it's pretty good. It's great to have a young Luke back. Of course, it could be better, but it's acceptable for now, and it's great to have the technology. And so then Grogu makes one of those frogs that he likes to eat float. He wants to get it to its mouth, but Luke does not allow him to do that. And then a funny scene happens where Luke makes like 50 of the frogs float, and they're all ribbiting in the air, which is pretty funny. And then Luke tells Grogu about Yoda and how Yoda reminds him of Grogu. Hopefully we get to learn a little more about the species. I know it's supposed to be a mystery, but I hope there's some way to connect it together. And also, I wonder, will Grogu talk backwards as well? That will be very interesting to see. And then Luke also asks Grogu about his life, like a long time ago, and we get a flashback. We know Grogu was part of the Jedi Temple. This confirms it, and we see 500 Force clones shooting at Jedi in the Jedi Temple. Obviously, Order 66, so a traumatic moment for Grogu there. And then Ahsoka shows up near the Mandalorian, so that it's three like cameos now. And so they take a walk around, and Ahsoka tells Mando to not worry about Grogu, basically. And then Din says to her that he wants to deliver that present from episode 5, but Ahsoka warns him that if Grogu sees Din, he will miss him even more, and there's really a choice to be made that will be very impactful here for Grogu's path. Even though he's going to live a long time, some of the people he's with are not going to live a long time. Lots of age stuff in this episode if you look for it, because like Grogu lives a long time, and later in this episode I'm going to talk about ages and Star Wars characters a little more too. So then Luke continues training Grogu, and he puts Grogu in his backpack, just like he did in Empire Strikes Back with Yoda, so that was a cool reference as well. And then they also use the training probe to shoot at Grogu so he can dodge stuff, like they did, I think, in A New Hope. And then Ahsoka does give that gift from Mando to Luke, so that is going to come into play later in the episode. So then we go back to where this the show is actually set, because that it was all Mandalorian season 3 stuff or something like that. Ahsoka show, I don't know where they're going to put all that stuff with Grogu and Luke. So then Din Djarin flies to Boba's palace. Is it Boba's palace now? It used to be Jabba's palace. So I guess they call it Boba's palace now in Tatooine. And a meeting is organized there. Mando and Chrysanthemum will act as enforcers, and then later Din finds Cobb Vanth and they have a drink at the bar in Cobb Vanth's little town, and then the Mandalorian asks Cobb Vanth to help Boba's cause. Cobb says that he'll see what he can do, and then we have a really cool moment here where Cad Bane shows up. Cad Bane from the Clone Wars, and also he was in the Bad Batch. He's one of my favorite Star Wars characters. He's just super cool. He's Western. This is right out of a Western scene. It's like the Cowboys and Aliens or something, because you have this alien wearing a cowboy hat. And Cad Bane, he looks a little different in live action, but there are reasons for that. So he has a much lighter face. It's not as dark as a blue. He looks a little more like an alien than he does, which makes sense. He is like based off of like, I think the like classic aliens with the eyes. But he's also very old. He's like 71 years old, and the Duro species typically only lives to about 70, so he's very old. We'll see if that affects anything, or maybe, there's a lot of technology in the Star Wars universe. Maybe, because it wouldn't make sense for you have this big universe with all the technology and you can't live longer. So I think it would not be too far-fetched that there's technology making him live longer. We'll see if they explain any of that, but he would be very old at this time. So then he shows up looking really cool in the standoff with Cobb Vanth, and he offered that working for him in the Pikes, because we learned Cad is working with Pikes, will be better than Boba's group. And then Cad shoots Cobb Vanth and his assistant, which is super cool. And then he leaves the scene. So I think Cobb Vanth is dead. I didn't look into that too much, but I think he is dead. And then continuing, the Pikes enter the cantina in Mos Espa. I don't know what it's called, but it's with that lady and the Twi'lek lady. And then they walk out, but they set off a bomb in there, so really escalating here. But I don't know if we have 1 or 2 episodes left, but still, it needs to escalate a little more. It's spending too much time on Mandalorian Season 3. So then, going back to the other planet, Luke continues meditating with Grogu once again, and he unwraps Mando's chain link armor or whatever it's gift, and Luke gives Grogu a choice. Is he gonna get Yoda's lightsaber and Jedi training and do the ways of the Jedi, but he can't have attachments if he does that, or is he gonna walk away and grab Mando's armor that he gave, and he's gonna live with Mando? Personally, I really think that just the right way, the whole Jedi attachment thing isn't my favorite thing. I know it creates some tough choices, and that creates like a plot point. But the Jedi attachment, I feel like that does make the Jedi a little too one-dimensional, and I hope they make some adjustments to that role later on. So, yeah, I really want Grogu to shoot Mando. It would be cool to see him as a Jedi, but at the same time, he's like they mentioned, Mando is gonna live for just a little fraction of Grogu's lifetime. So I would rather him do stuff with Mando. So we'll see how that plays out. It's kind of determining which show he's going to be in. If he's going to be in the Mandalorian Season 3 or another one, so that will also be very interesting. Will we see a next episode? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it'll be like a post-credit scene after the last episode. And so this was a great episode. A little bit of a Boba Fett cameo, though. He barely appeared. I don't know what to think. The first 4 were excellent with Boba Fett. I didn't mind those at all. I like Tatooine personally. But I guess it's fine. We got Mandalorian Season 3 and that kind of stuff. So I think we had 4 cameos in this one, if not including Boba Fett, because it's its own show. But a 10 out of a 10 in this one. This was a great episode. So far, this and episode 2 are my favorites. Some of my favorite Star Wars content ever. So yeah, episode 2, episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett. So that is going to do it for this video. Please make sure to subscribe and like, and I'm going to find out how many episodes there are left and put that in the description down below if you want to see how many are left. And this is the Commander signing out.